The Knicks and Spurs took care of business on the road. We're going to talk about the SGA and Thunder drama with people hating on the Thunder. And we're also going to talk about Mike Vrabel a little bit. All that coming up right now. All right, you guys. So today we had two great playoff games. It was the Knicks on the road in Philadelphia trying to take a commanding 3-0 lead, and the Spurs in Minnesota trying to take the lead in that series as it was tied 1-1. We'll start with the Knicks game in Philadelphia tonight. The game was pretty close for a lot of the times, but it always felt like the Knicks were in control, and ultimately that's exactly what happened late in the fourth quarter. The Knicks just took control. Jalen Brunson was awesome in this game. The Sixers, I said this when the series started. I thought the series would go far deeper, maybe possibly 7 games. But I said essentially, I just can't trust Joel Embiid being healthy. I honestly, at this point, feel bad for Embiid. It's hard for any team to get in a rhythm with guys coming in and out of the lineup. And Embiid didn't play game 2. He played in game 1. He came back and played in this game. So just tough for Philly to get on the roll. Paul George came out firing. He was on fire, and then he went away. Then nothing really happened the rest of the game for Paul George. The Knicks got a lot of help from their other guys. Mikal Bridges, 23 points tonight. Josh Hart had 12 points. Cat didn't even play that well with 8 points and 12 rebounds, but Landry Shamet came in and had 15 points. In the second quarter, really, it was Shamet coming through for the Knicks, keeping them close, where ultimately then Jalen Brunson, who was a star of this game, could take over. He finished with 33 points on 11 of 22 shooting. And again, it was just him. If he wasn't scoring, he was playmaking. He had 9 assists in this game. Again, with Philly, it's just tough, man. I feel bad. I said this before with Embiid. I feel like the poor guy's just always waiting on an injury. And, game 2, he didn't play. He had injuries that kept him out of that game. So now he came back in this game, try to give him a spark, but it wasn't enough. And Philly they just look overmatched. The others for the Knicks are playing way better than the others for the Sixers. And if you look at even the box score, even Tyrese Maxey can't get going. The Knicks just have size. They have bodies. The wings, whether it's Mikal Bridges or, OG Anunoby didn't even play this game because he's got a hamstring issue. And when he was playing, that's a big body guy. Josh Hart plays with energy. Maxey finished with just 17 points. He only put up 12 shots. He actually shot the ball while 75% shooting on 8 for 12. But yeah, it just was, they just weren't getting a lot. Their bench accounted for 11 points total for the Sixers. So again, Paul George started hot. Joel Embiid finished with 18. Kelly Oubre led them in scoring with 22 points. And VJ comes a rookie, and he's nice, but he finished with 11 points. Again, it wasn't even the starters. It's just they couldn't get any help from anyone else. But, if you look at their bench, who's coming in, it's, Adem Bona, Andre Drummond, Justin Edwards, Dominic Barlow played 12 minutes. Quentin Grimes played 22 minutes and had just 6 points. So they're not getting any help there. The Knicks, at least, whether it's Alvarado hitting a timely 3 or Mitchell Robinson coming in with 6 points, and making a difference defensively. It's just those are the guys that essentially carry the Knicks when their starters are resting. And those are the guys that can't carry or even thread water for the Sixers when they don't have those guys in there. So tough loss for Philly. They're down 3-0 now. I do think that with the Knicks being a veteran team, having OG already out with a hamstring, I think they're going to come in locked in like they did for this game and try to just finish this off right away with a sweep. The Sixers, I think if they're down at halftime, that Philly crowd is a tough crowd, especially when you see how many Knicks fans travel in there. Joel Embiid tried to do his best when they finished off the Celtics last round to tell the Sixers fans not to sell their tickets to Knicks fans and to show up. And it didn't seem like that made a difference. It just like, to put it in Joel Embiid's words, it felt like MSG East tonight, essentially, because the Knicks crowd was there, lively, turned, and it was loud, and you could hear it. When Embiid missed a free throw, it got loud. Like, people were happy, and you could hear the Knicks through the TV. So the Knicks fans. So again, it's just a tough way for Philly. Bad matchup for them. I don't see any life here for the Sixers. And I think the Knicks, being a veteran team, won't fall asleep at the wheel and will try to finish this off and take care of business on Sunday. So we'll see how that goes. The other game tonight was a pretty damn good game. San Antonio on the road in Minnesota. Minnesota coming off a blowout loss in San Antonio in game 2, but they did steal game 1. So they had home court advantage. Big game here because if they could gain momentum, and the Wolves could get this done tonight, they would have been up 2-1 with home court advantage and the Spurs on the ropes, a young team who, maybe you would think would panic. But honestly, Victor Wembanyama is that guy. He is. If you didn't think he was here, he's here. He finished with 39 points on only 18 shots, 15 rebounds. And I'm just going to say this, the poise that he plays with tonight, the poise that he had in this game when it got close and it seemed like Minnesota was about to go on their run, he made a timely three. He made another timely bucket. Defensively, he was where he needed to be. He finished with 5 blocks. Yeah, he's the real deal. He is here. Like, he is that guy for sure. 39 points. Again, it's just remarkable. And he got help. De'Aaron Fox, 17 points tonight. Devin Vassell and Stephon Castle each had 13. Off the bench, Dylan Harper had 8 points in 20 minutes. Keldon Johnson, this sixth man, 11 points tonight. Carter Bryant, even a rookie coming in, 6 points on 2 for 2 shooting. He made 2 3-pointers. So that's the help you need on the road. The Spurs suddenly gain momentum back. And now they have a chance to put the Wolves on back with their backs against the ropes here. Anthony Edwards, man, he played great. He ended up finishing with 32 points, but he needed help. And it's just one of those things that, Mike Conley's an older guy. He started and he only finished with, he only played 4 minutes. No points in those 4 minutes. And I think obviously we'll see what happens with him going forward into game 4, but the Sumo came back from injury, 11 points, Naz Reid, 18, and the Wolves are, they're beat up. They another injury here with, again, so they're down to essentially their last 8 guys. They played 8 guys tonight. And if you're going to play anyone else, a 9th man, it would either be Bones Highland or probably Jalen Clark. It's just tough. It's tough, whereas the Spurs, on the other hand, could play 10 guys and their 10th guy is, Harrison Barnes or Carter Bryant, Luke Cornett. Like, those guys are reliable. They've been in the rotation all season long. The Wolves just are running out of guys ultimately. And it's tough because I think a fully healthy Wolves team could make a run at the finals. Julius Randle came on a little bit in the fourth quarter, but he struggled in this game. Honestly, I don't know. He missed some layups. I think just having Wemby in such a big presence down low affected him. He only shot the ball 3 for 12. And you could really see he was the guy that you could really see struggling for the Wolves. And so, yeah, they're going to need some help. But again, they're down. I mean, next game, they might even just have to play 7 guys. It's getting pretty ridiculous. So valiant effort there for the Wolves. But, if the Spurs were a veteran team, I would say they smell blood in the water and they would, come out game 4 and take full control. My only hesitation is obviously they're a younger team, but with the way Victor came out today and showed, I mean, he plays above his years, right? I mean, the guy is a young guy and he's playing like a 30-year-old vet in the NBA. At least tonight he did. He played like, he's been there before and like he knew how to take care of business and he got it done. Again, Rudy Gobert is a great defender, but it's hard to stop this guy. And when his 3 is falling, he went 3 for 5 shooting the 3 ball today. Pretty much unstoppable. So great game by Victor. We'll see how this plays out Sunday. Obviously, that's the make or break game. If the Spurs win that, not much any more of that I think the Wolves could do. If the Wolves manage to sneak in a win, then pressure goes back onto the Spurs, and that adds, that goes in favor of the Wolves. Maybe game 5 with pressure on the Spurs, a young team. Maybe they panic and they feel it if it's close. So that's that's the pivotal game here coming up in Minnesota on Sunday. So, all right, those are the games that went on tonight. Tomorrow we've got game 4 of the Detroit Pistons taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. It's in Cleveland. It's game 3. Sorry, not game 4. I'll just say this, man. I don't want to say I defend James Harden. I guess I place my blame in a different place than where people place it. People love to blame Harden because he doesn't have a lot of points or because he shot poorly. My problem with James Harden is that there's no intensity. He's got no playoff intensity. I don't care so much about him struggling with his shot. Like in game 2, James Harden went 3 for 13 shooting. That's horrible, but that's not my issue with him. My issue with him is he had 4 turnovers, careless, mind you. One that they're down like 4 points with 30 seconds to play, and he's just dribbling into a double team pretty much and loses the ball. It's the lack of awareness to get back on defense, the lack of effort to dive on a loose ball, the lack of effort, it seems like, through the TV, to communicate on defense. Winning basketball, that's my thing. You could have a bad shooting game, but still be effective as a player. And that's where my issue is with him. So I don't care if he comes out in game 3 and scores 28 points and shoots 10 for 15. But if defensively he is this big of a liability, that's the issue. I don't care about the scoring. It's playoff basketball. Defense wins championships. So all that stuff and the bucket getting and the whatever is nice. That's not it, man. And the problem is the Cavs have too many guys like that right now. Evan Mobley, last game, he played 36 minutes. He had 9 points on 1 rebound. He's a damn near 7-footer. How do you have 1 rebound? Like, at some point, you even just get lucky and the ball's going to bounce to you. So it's just a lack of effort, a lack of intensity. Like I said, the Cavs had this in the Toronto series. They went into Toronto for games 3 and 4 and kind of walked through it. Game 4, they gave a little bit more effort. It was close, and they should have won that series in 5 games. Toronto was undermanned. I mean, they didn't have 2 other starters. They were missing a rotation guy. Like, Cleveland's just playing like it's game 60 of the regular season. And like I said, man, they have too many guys like that. Jared Allen, okay, you had 22 points and 7 rebounds in game 2. That's great. How many did you have in game 1? And it wasn't even close to that. I can guarantee you that. I'm going to go look right now, and I'll tell you exactly how many points he had in game 1. Jared Allen, another 7-footer, game 1 against the Pistons. He finished with 2 points. 2 points and 3 rebounds in 18 minutes. What is that? What is that? That's just coming off a game 7 win against the Raptors where he had like almost 20 rebounds and like 20 points. So it's just so inconsistent. This Cavaliers team is really frustrating to watch because the Pistons look like they're in the Eastern Conference semifinals, and the Cavaliers look like it's game 60 of the regular season, and specifically James Harden. If you're a lead dog, if you're the lead guy, you and Donovan Mitchell, well, then you got to play like you mean it, man. You got to play like your life's on the line, and you can't wait till game 3 and 4 back in Cleveland, because if you drop one of these and you're down 3-1, it's practically over. So they're playing with fire. They play like it's almost like they're playing arrogant basketball. Like they're walking into like, yeah, we'll get them at home, and then we'll get them on the game 7 on the like. You ain't gonna get to game 7. You keep playing like this. So very frustrating for Cleveland. Meanwhile, Detroit, I mean, that's how you play. I mean, playoff basketball, right? I don't even think they're the more talented team in this series, but they're bringing it. They're playing with that finals level intensity. Cade Cunningham, 25 points on 7 of 14 shooting, 10 assists. Like, again, he even had 5 turnovers too. So it's not like he played a great game, but you could see defensively, he's talking, they're trying, they're playing. Jalen Duren, listen, if they pay him max money, that's a big mistake. I'm just telling you that. They better not forget. I don't care if they advance to the Eastern Conference Finals and he balls out there. You cannot give Jalen Duren a max contract because that's going to just, I think, be detrimental to this team for the next 4 or 5 years. Look at the Cavs with Evan Mobley, right? I think Duren is good for what he is. He's a great starting center, but he ain't elite. He's showing it in these playoffs. 8 points on 2 for 7 shooting and 10 rebounds. But I will say this, defensively, he's a menace. Defensively, he shows up. So he's worth some good dollars, but I just don't think you should give him the max, okay? I mean, Evan Mobley's the defensive player of the year. You know, that's great, and he deserves a nice contract, but they gave him the max, and now they're maxed out, right? And now at the deadline, they got James Harden, and good luck with that. We'll see how that goes. Wouldn't surprise me if they try to trade Evan Mobley this offseason. So with the Pistons, you're ahead of that. Don't make that mistake. Again, but they got help. Tobias Harris is a vet, came in 21 points. Duncan Robinson, 17 points. Tobias Harris, he's playing defense. He's trying. I don't give a damn that Donovan Mitchell embarrassed him or whatever, got him okie doke or whatever. Who cares? Who cares? He got back up. He got hurt, whatever he had going on, and he kept playing. I love that. Okay. I ain't about that. I'm not one of those people that's going to make fun of you for getting tripped up. But James Harden is the type that will make fun of you when he crosses you over, except he's never even putting himself in a chance to be crossed over because he doesn't even play defense. So I'm sorry, James. I'm going to credit the guy who's actually trying and once in every 10 moves is going to get crossed over, but the other 9, you're going to miss a bucket on them. When with you, the Pistons, when driving one-on-one in this last game, in game 2 against James Harden, went 7 for 7 on field goals. 7 for 7 on field goals. Yeah, you didn't get crossed over. You just got scored on every single time that people wanted the mismatch on you, man. So, yeah, that's the problem with James Harden. But, again, the Pistons, showing up, playing good ball. Dennis Jenkins this season came out of nowhere. The kid's balling, 14 points. And it seems like every end of quarter situation, whether it's Dennis Jenkins, whether it's Caris LeVert, Javonte Green, or whoever, Ron Holland, who had one of these playoffs, they're making a bucket at the buzzer at the end of the quarter, it seems like. So the Pistons are rolling. I fully expect the Cavs to come out finally with some effort, because now they can't go down 3-0. But it wouldn't surprise me if they get beat. And great, you can try your hardest in game 4 and get game 4, and that's awesome. But good luck winning 4 straight if you're going down 3-0. Good luck winning 4 out of 5 now against the Pistons, because you finally decided to show some energy and some fight. That worked out against Toronto, because Toronto ain't Detroit. Detroit's the number 1 seed, and you've been playing with your food the whole playoffs. We'll see if they respond. But again, that's 2 games that they played in the semifinals of the NBA playoffs like it was a regular season game. So, all right, the other series, obviously, that'll lead us to this conversation, is the Lakers against the Thunder. Now, I'll spend less time talking about that one, but all I'm going to say is let's start with the game. The game, LeBron, give him credit. He's man, at his age, what he's doing, he's a true beast. I really respect him, but he ain't got the help. He ain't got the people around him right now. Luka's obviously hurt, and it's just not happening. DeAndre Ayton played 27 minutes and had 3 points, 1 for 7 shooting. That ain't it. Especially when you play a team like the Thunder, you need to practically get a perfect game from everybody. And it's just not happening. Austin Reeves came back and played great with 31 points. He game 1, he struggled. Game 2, he attacked the rim. He played well, 31 points on 10 for 16 shooting. But it's just not enough. Luke Kennard played 26 minutes, had 10 points. Some guys were scoring, but it's just that the Thunder are way too deep. I mean, think about this. AJ Mitchell played 30 minutes for the Thunder, had 20 points. It's those kind of guys that are being the difference maker. Jared McCain had 18 points in 18 minutes for the Thunder. These guys, the Thunder played 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think they played 13, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 13 guys, 13-man rotation. Obviously, there was garbage time and all that, but really 12-man, because Topic played 1 minute. I guess Aaron Wiggins played 2 and Kendrick Williams played 2. But still, the player with the most minutes for them was Chet Holmgren, and he had 33 minutes. That's all he played, 33 minutes. It's unreal. So this Thunder team is super deep. They're super smart. They have their identity, and that's that. SGA finished with 22 points on 7 for 13 shooting. He hasn't even played great this series, right? And they're up 2-0. So I don't think this is that similar to the Philly Knicks series, but I do think that the Thunder have this series in the bag. I think LeBron obviously understands that they can't go down 3-0. So I think this is the do or die game for the Lakers. They're going to give it their everything. And really it just comes down to this. If the Lakers can't get this game 3, I think this is a sweep. But if they manage to get it, I still think the Thunder will win it 5. But we'll see how this one plays out tomorrow. And don't take LeBron for granted. Okay. Listen, I'm not a huge LeBron James fan when it comes to, his passive aggressiveness and all that stuff, but basketball wise, man, this guy is incredible. What a basketball player. Seriously. All right. That leads us to this. So the Lakers obviously didn't like the whistle. They started complaining and ended up having a whole mid-court meeting with the officials after the game because of the complaining, because of the bad calls and all that. Listen, it was a poorly officiated game. The Thunder ended up, getting so many favorable calls in this game, right? And it's one of those things that I understand the frustration from the Lakers' perspective. But also people need to take into account, like, it's not that lopsided, okay? You know how many fouls the Lakers had in this game called on them? 26. You would have thought that the Thunder had like 10 called on them by the reactions of everybody online and the Lakers themselves. Well, the Thunder were called for 21 fouls. Okay. SGA was in foul trouble in this game. Did people forget that? Okay. So let's not act like it's that one-sided. And officials, every game is one-sided. It's never perfectly officiated. There's always going to be, a team that gets the favorite call. That's why there's that saying of the more aggressive team usually gets the calls. Now, does SGA flop? Does he exaggerate contact? Damn right he does. Damn right he does. Guess who else does? James Harden. Guess who else does? Jalen Brunson. Guess who else does? LeBron James. LeBron James had a whole hissy fit in Boston one year when he got fouled on a layup and that he really went crazy, right? Officials miss calls and officials make bad calls. It happens. But with the Thunder, I'm honestly I'm enjoying the hate that people have for the Thunder because I'm one of those people that respects winners and respects, should I say, greatness, honestly, because y'all can hate all you want, but that's part of the sport. If you want to remove it, if you guys want to start, I saw someone put out I think it was Bogdan Bogdanovic had a tweet about saying they should do a red card rule in the NBA where if they catch you flopping, you can get disqualified from the game. Sure, I like it. I'm not against it. But I'm just saying y'all better think twice about that because if you're going to put that in there, sure, you may get SGA disqualified, but you might also get Marcus Smart disqualified. You don't think he flops around? You don't think LeBron sometimes exaggerates contact, so you want to get him disqualified too? I'm just saying, come on now. This happens across the league. Everybody does it. Everybody does it. Does that make it okay? No, but that makes it smart. If other people are doing it, you better get with it. You better get with it. I'm not an advocate for that. I wish guys didn't flop. I mean, it's like soccer. Soccer guys be throwing themselves and lying on the floor in pain forever to try to get a yellow or red card on the other player. Well, if it works, then you're going to keep doing it, right? And all I can do is respect it because at the end of the day, you're just taking advantage of the rules, but you're still playing within the rules. The rules are judged by the refs. That's you. So again, if people want to add a more strict policy, I mean, I don't even know why they took it away, but back in the day, there was fines for flopping. If people want to, add a policy to remove flopping, I'm all for it. But I'm just saying picking on the Thunder like they're the only ones is ridiculous. It's hate. Y'all just hating because they're good. Okay? Y'all just hating because they know how to get buckets. I mean, goddamn, SGA on that Austin Reeves foul. Did SGA hook him and pinch his arm? Absolutely he did. That's a veteran move. That's how many guys do we know where they're like, oh, veteran move. He caught him with his hands in the cookie jar. Yeah. You're playing the refs there too. And is it a foul? It is a foul. But if people miss the call, I mean, damn, in the Philly Knicks game, we watched Joel Embiid practically tackle Karl Anthony Towns. That wasn't a flagrant or anything. It was just a common foul. In the Wolves game, you don't think Wembanyama flops sometimes? Even Anthony Edwards, who's a dog, he exaggerates contact sometimes too. Yes, maybe not to the level of SGA, but I'm just saying it's strategy. It's strategy. If it works, it works. They're always going to do that. When a guy takes a charge and you literally see it happen in slow motion, the guy drives and dishes the pass and then practically barely bumps the defender, and the defender just looks like a cartoon character falling. That is exaggerated, but it's so the refs can see it. And there's all these games. There's all these little games. At the end of the quarter today in the Wolves Spurs game, if you guys watched that, I forget, I think it was Jaden McDaniels hit a 3 at the buzzer, and underneath the basket, you had, I think it was Devin Vassell and Julius Randle, and they're jogging for position. And they called a foul on Devin Vassell. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was Devin Vassell. They called the foul on the Spurs guy. And really, if you watch the slow-mo, it's Julius Randle with a vet move, pretty much grabbing Vassell, so make it look like Vassell knocked him over. And then we're saying, well, what a savvy vet move. And ultimately, it wasn't a foul because they said it happened after the buzzer. But they called it. Originally, they called it on the Spurs. And it was the wrong call. But that is a vet move. That's what happens. So give SGA credit for being such a young player that has figured out all these little strategies. Like Kobe used to do it. All the greats did it. That's basketball. You're playing within the officiating and whatever they allow. So again, it's just, every game's officiated differently, and the smart players can pick up on how it's officiated and take advantage. If they're letting y'all play like the Knicks and Sixers game today, they were letting them be physical. All right, well then, if they're letting you be physical, the smart guy is going to be the guy who's technically fouling on every play because he knows that he'll be able to get away with it because they're letting them play. And the guy that's not fouling and trying to play it clean is going to get taken advantage of because you're not playing to the standard of what those officials are allowing. So I'm over the hate for the Thunder. Like, it's not like I'm sitting here advocating that flopping is good. I'm just advocating that if they're going to allow it, you'd be dumb not to do it because somebody else is going to be doing it. And why give the other team the advantage if you could have it? So don't hate the player, hate the game, as they say, right? So you want to hate the NBA for the rules and the lack of penalty for flopping? That's fine. I could agree with you on that. But let's keep it real. Let's be mad about that. So yeah, we'll see. Again, I think the officials, and they tend to kind of balance out. So the Lakers do what you got to do. Again, you want an advantage in game 3? Do what you got to do. You want to call a whole meeting and center court with the refs after game 2? Do it. It got picked up everywhere on ESPN. They're talking about it. Great, because you know what? Now in game 3, it's like when head coaches call out the refs or the fouling and press conferences. It's a mental game. It's part of the game to give yourself an advantage for the next game. The Lakers did that. So if they get more calls in game 3 when it goes back to LA, okay, well, good strategy, Lakers. Like, that's you played the mind game and you made the officials be more aware of the fouling that the Thunder are doing, and now you'll get some calls. Okay, and if that happens, then it's gonna be on the Thunder to adjust or to play to that, then to ease up and don't foul as much because the rest will be calling it very easily. They'll call every single foul. So that's where you got to keep your hands out the cookie jar because you'll get called for every single foul if that's the case. So again, smart teams adapt. Smart teams play with what they're being allowed to do. So don't be mad. Don't be mad at the Thunder because they're playing smart basketball. All right. Y'all just jealous that they won a championship and it looks like they might be on their way to a second one. So anyway, that's the basketball conversation. The other conversation I want to talk about, I'm not going to get into the inner details. I don't really care. But we're going to talk about Mike Vrabel. Obviously, there's that whole situation with Diana Rossini, and like people are all about it. And now there's a tape of them on some boat when she was pregnant. Who cares? Who cares? Okay? Why is this such a big story? Now, listen, I'm the biggest like advocate for being in good marriages and not doing things like that. Like, I hate cheating. I think cheating is cowardly. I think if you're not happy in a relationship, get out of it. Don't be a coward and get the best of both worlds because you're too coward to go up to your person and say you don't want to be with them no more. So I'm like huge on hating against cheating, like for sure. But what are we, the moral police here in the NFL talking about Mike Vrabel should step away from the Patriots? Is that what we're doing? Are we going to start, telling guys that they can work for the NFL or not based on their morality? Because if that's the case, believe it or not, probably half the league needs to retire. Probably half the league needs to go. Okay, so I'm not here about that stuff. That's their personal lives. Am I against it? Yeah, I'm against it, but I'm against it with Mike Vrabel or with Mike from The Office or from Mike that works at the grocery store. I don't care. Cheating is bad and I hate it. Right? But that's like personal. So to me, I just don't understand this conversation about he should walk away from the Patriots and all this. Like, okay, like I'm not gonna name names, but you think all the Patriots players from last year were being loyal partners to people? Like, come on now, like what are we doing here? What are we doing? So it's just a stupid conversation, in my opinion. Leave that for TMZ and for the tabloids and whatnot, and they want to put stories of whatever, sure, whatever. But when it comes to actual the NFL or any sport, the NBA or whatever, like, are we really going to now be judging these guys on their morality and their personal relationships? So if someone, forget even just cheating in a relationship. So if someone backstabs a friend and is an a-hole to a longtime friend, should we be like, yeah, they should walk away. They can't be trusted because they try to screw over their homie from 20 years ago. Like, what are we doing? That's like, if let the teams hire and fire whoever they want, but for calling for someone to resign because their morals are bad, because it is bad. I'm not saying that even the morals are different from ours. I can call it that. It's bad to do that. But I'm just saying, like, to now be like, all right, yeah, like he needs to resign. It's like, all right, because believe it or not, your favorite player or your favorite coach, they might not be perfect either, okay? So I'm just saying, like, I'm not even trying to defend Mike Vrabel personally. I think that's a crappy thing to do. And like I said, whether it's Mike Vrabel or any other Mike, that's cowardly. But that has nothing to do with him being a football coach, in my opinion. So that's my take on that. And yeah, lots of stuff going on in sports this week. I hope that you guys had a good week. Excited to keep watching these playoffs. Hopefully we get another couple close games, because lately they seem like they're close for the most part, and then they kind of towards the end have been not that close at the end. So I think the Cleveland-Detroit game will come down to the wire, hopefully. The Lakers, I think they'll keep it close, but you know, it does feel like the Thunder are just definitely deeper and the better team. So and we'll see. And then we got the draft lottery on Sunday. And man, if y'all keep hating on the Thunder like this, y'all gonna make me start rooting for them to get the number 1 pick just to spite everybody. I think that'd be hilarious, because people would just be so angry and so upset. Don't be upset that their GM is awesome. Don't be upset that they're smart and they make good trades. Again, like, idolize that. Hope that your team could do that, but don't be just hating on it. Like, y'all are just jealous. That's really what it is. Because if that was your teams or my team doing that, I'd be so psyched. I'd be rooting for the number 1 pick. So the OKC fan base deserves it, because they hired a great GM that knows what the hell he's doing. And he's screwing over the rest of the league, not by doing anything illegal, not by cheating, not by anything. He's within the rules, right? And he's drafting well, and he's doing the work. And that's why, like I said, I think that the anti-tanking rules are good, because they're going to force teams to need to have good GMs who can draft well in the teens of the drafts, and not just be given a number 2 or number 4 pick and be like, here, it's a no-brainer. Pick whichever one of the top 3 prospects is left with the number 3 pick. Y'all got to do your homework now. So I like it. So, all right. Hope you guys enjoy this podcast, and I'll talk to y'all on the next one.